big runs to start the second and third quarters, and they win this game. It's now Miami up 3-2. Let's get some insight and bring in James Herbert, HQ NBA analyst. James, I mentioned they were down 10 after the first quarter, went on an 18-2 run to start the second quarter, got back in the game, then went on a 22-7 run to begin the third quarter. The lead was as big as 19 points. They fend off the Heat late in this one. Your biggest takeaway for this Knicks win?
My biggest takeaway is it's at least possible for the Knicks to look like the regular season Knicks against Miami. This is the first time that we've seen this over the course of this series. It's been a pretty ugly series for the most part, but the Knicks offense finally got going. The three-point shots were falling. They got a ton of offensive rebounds. They dominated the free throw battle in this game. And, you know, that is how they won a lot of games in the regular season. I mean, this is a team that was one of the most efficient offenses in the NBA. And they did that a lot of the time by doing some of the same stuff we saw in this game, winning the possession game, really bullying people on the inside. But we just have not seen the Knicks look that comfortable against this Heat team. This at least gives them the formula, and it should tell the Knicks players who are trying to get the belief that they can come back from the 3-1 deficit that they can at least do this. They have done it once.
Yeah, to back your point, the Knicks got to the free throw line 40 times to 19 for Miami. They also had an advantage of 24 points off turnovers in the game. I want to mention Jalen Brunson, 38 points, most by a Knicks guard in New York playoff history. Characterize what you saw from him.
Oh, it was a phenomenal game from Jalen Brunson. He was getting to his spots. He was causing a lot of problems for that Heat defense, and he was putting a lot of pressure just on one-on-one defenders. Like when Gabe Vincent was on Jalen Brunson, he just thought, I will get to the paint one way or another. He has all those little pivot moves. When he draws extra defenders, he's so good at kicking it out to open shooters. The difference is for a lot of this series, the shooters were just bricking those shots. Tonight, you saw some more of those go in, and you also saw Jalen a lot of times just doing it himself, just taking those jumpers, getting to that mid-range area. The threes were falling for him as well. It was a really, really spectacular all-around game for Brunson.
James, interesting in Miami Heat playoff history, when up 3-1 in a best-of-7, they're 14-0. In New York Knicks playoff history, when down 3-1 in a best-of-7, they're 0-14. One step or one hurdle crossed with this win at MSG. The Knicks have to go to Miami and get a win. They were 0-2 in those 2 games there. So how do the Knicks bottle this up and force a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, they're going to have to play as if they have that MSG crowd behind them. They're going to have to get to all the loose balls. They're going to have to find easy baskets in transition and prevent the Heat from doing so. A lot of these areas, these sort of, you know, the points on the margins, the relief points, as Eric Spoelstra likes to call them, the Heat have, for the most part, dominated those categories over the course of this series. The Knicks need to find a way to change that story. They did it once. They did that tonight. Whether or not they can do it on the road, like, I don't know. I know it should be harder, though.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler's streak of 25-point games in these playoffs is snapped. He only hit 5 field goals, finished with 19 points in all. He's James Herbert, HQ NBA analyst, on the heels of the Knicks' 112-103 Game 5 win, forcing a 6th game in Miami. And yeah, the Knicks guard the Garden. Only loss was to the Heat in the series opener, but the Knicks getting it done at home and on this night, keeping their season alive, hoping to have one more game at Madison Square Garden.